Good evening. How art thou? How art thou? How art thou? How art thou? Leonette's yarn to masterpiece. Ha ha ha. You like masterpieces? I get ridiculed for my masterpieces. They say I do too many masterpieces and it takes too much to crochet the masterpieces that I make. So I have to slow it down. But how are you, ladies and gentlemen? How are you? How's everything? I'm trying to do two monitors at one time so I could like show you guys the best way I know how and the differences and the softwares and stuff. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you all of the differences and the different programs and how they all are looped up into one and the differences and all of that. So I did a lot of research. The only thing I'm not happy about is one of them, but I'll tell you guys about that. For some reason, maybe because I'm just so stuck on PC Stitch that this other one is just not giving me a good like feedback or nothing. But yeah, so before I start, let me let you know that if you are not a subscriber, please subscribe. If you would love to click that like button, I would be so grateful. If you want to learn how to be a grapher, there is a button down there that says join. You could join the membership to be a Diva Squad, or you could join to learn how to graph. So I'm going to do some more really intense like tutorials on how to graph with PC Stitch. And even whether you want to do masterpieces or something simple, that's what I'm going to be doing. Uh, I think the issue that I am starting to see around the fiber artist community is the fact that free is what everybody is looking into. Free. What's a free website where I can do graphs? What's a free thing that I don't have to download? Is there an app so I can use my device? Is there, everything is free. So to get back to um how I first started to do a GraphGAN, I was introduced to PC Stitch from the rip. But before that, when I started seeing the images on GraphGANs and what they look like. I'm the type of person that don't ask around. I search myself. So I started seeing little pictures. I had no idea how I was going to turn them into blankets, but I did. I found a way. The thing about it was I talked about that in the past. When I found the graphs, which is probably like on Pinterest or I Googled or whatever, whenever I found these graphs and I would crochet I did not have a concept of not time, size. I didn't have a concept of time either. Now that I'm thinking about it, I would tell people, oh, I'll be finished in like 2 weeks. And yeah, I didn't have that thought out. And the size was a huge, huge, huge downfall in my growing into GraphGANs. I did not realize it's way more to it than taking a image and making it into a graph and making it into a blanket. It it became way more for me. Now, it may not be for anyone else, but for me, because this is something that I had made a business out of just mainly doing GraphGANs. I did so much research and so much testing this and testing that. That's how I found out what I found out and what I'm gonna tell you today. The other thing about finding those little graphs on Pinterest A lot of them are not made for crochet. So the outcome that you may want may not be what you want. And then you want to personalize. And so what you do is you go to another site, which I did back in the day. I will go to another site which shows, like, I think you put a name in. Again, had no concept of names, the size, the fonts. I just did what I knew best, and I would make the name the best way I know how, and it sometimes didn't even line up with the graph that I was doing. I see that a lot because free was for me back in the days. So I would, and it wasn't a problem at all whatsoever. I would take, that free graph that I would find on Pinterest, and I would go online to this, and I don't even remember the name of the website, but it was just a website. You put your the name or whatever you wanted to put, and it gives you a little grid of what you wanted. And I will follow that little grid from my phone. I would crochet it, and then I would start adding the little graph that I had. So I showed, and I'm not doing it again because I'm so embarrassed. I showed how my old work looked and why I chose not to ever do that again. I saw the difference in what I do now versus what I did back then. And I can see that in a lot of people who just don't know. So that's the reason why I do these tutorials and stuff. The thing that I'm also trying to learn, educate myself, and accept the things that I cannot change, because I am the type of person that sees something that I believe that can be changed or beautified even more. I feel I need to say something. I have to learn to accept that everybody is different and not everyone is going to agree with how I do things. So I'm still in the process of learning to shut up, to keep my mouth closed because it's not always needed. But it's because not everybody take constructive criticism. Not everyone would think that what I say is for helping. Not everyone is going to think that their work needs help. So I learned to just shut up unless someone asks. And even still, when someone asks, I still have to be careful when I talk to them because some people are just sensitive, and some constructive criticism is just not their thing. So um, that's why doing this is good, so that they can watch it. If they wanted to change some things, asking questions, I'm here. But if not, that's up to you guys. That is so up to you guys. I also noticed throughout the years, and especially the fiber artist community, that the difference between us and our customers is that our customers really don't know. They don't know what we can do and what we can't do. So I chose not to let my customer rely solely on them finding what they want, because they could tend to be a little bit, out of hand when it comes to finding certain images. And they will find an image and you're looking at it like, I think I can do this. Diva, can you do this? And it's like, honey, no. Or, I may be able to, but it may not be the size that you want. So these are the things that you have to learn when doing a graph scan. These are the things you must know and accept the things that cannot be changed. When it comes to art is so like broad, and you can do whatever you want with art. With me, I am not a perfectionist, but I do strive to do excellent. So if I want those sharp lines, I'm going to make those sharp lines. If I want bold, clean, cut, clear images, I'm going to do that with no unconnected lines. and I'm able to make whatever I want. I cannot just do one picture because anyone can have the picture. I know there's a picture of something. I'm not even going to say what it is, but it's a picture of it out there that everybody has. I chose not to do it because I don't want to do everything that everyone has. So I chose to do things a little bit differently. Even if I did go on Google and pick out an image, I change the image. I will make it something different. Add a different background. Maybe add some words. Maybe change the colors and maybe change the eyes, hair, whatever. I just try to do different things. And the software that you use makes a difference. It makes a hell of a difference. And let's start with the first. All right. So turn it down. Your TV is so loud I can hear it. Oh, I thought I muted that. Sorry. So the first one I'm going to do is Stitchboard. Stitchboard is another name that flies out. So if someone say, "What program do you use?" Because that's the main question I get. How are you doing this? What program are you using? How much is it? Is it free? Can I download it? Can you use it for PC Stitch or Apple? Like, these are the main questions I get all the time. So I decided to spare you guys and just do a tutorial on it. So Stitchboard. I went to Stitchboard and started playing around with it, and I realized I was getting frustrated. I was getting to the point where I was about to give up and like, we can't do this. Diva can't do it better. I could not be great at what I do with the limitations that Stitchboard has. So I'm going to show you the limitations that Stitchboard has. Where is it? Okay. So when I decided to do Stitchboard, I actually didn't even realize that I had a account already. So all you have to do is go in and you register. It's free. You don't have to do anything. Do I have it on this one? Oh yeah, I have it on this laptop. Let me change laptops. Cause I was wondering where is it. Okay, so Stitchboard is simple, but I think that if you are looking for something basic, then maybe that's for you. It's not for me. All right, let me. Stitchboard is so I went on their forum just to speak to other people and ask them, how do you like Stitchboard? What do you like about it? And so I wrote down some pros and cons on what others like about Stitchboard. And it was pretty okay. But I think what it is a lot of people are not going out and just being like research, basically. I think that's what it is. A lot of people are not researching what they feel may work and what they feel may not work. And that's something that we need to probably think about. This is ridiculous. I had to go to a whole nother tab just to get this. All right, here we go. Okay, so Stitchboard. Can I let this in? Yeah. Can I add that? Yeah. So this is Stitchboard. Okay. So what I did was I took a simple image. I put the simple image in, and I just let it do what it naturally do. all of the programs will take the image and it will automatically size the image. It's called aspect ratio. So when I did that to the flower, the aspect ratio was 80 by 139. If we were to actually do this flower for like a pillow or something like that, that would not be the size. This is only for demonstration purposes. So with the flower, it also shows let me see. It also shows the width is 80, the height is 139. It shows how many colors. We all know we see like 4 colors, 4 colors, but it picked up 16. So when you are doing this, you're not aware that why is it picking up all these colors? I also noticed that when I first started to do this, I realized that that stitch board does not have like the preview area. So when I do my thing on PC Stitch, there's a it's called Import Wizard. There's an Import Wizard area where you're able to play around with the size, crop. You're able to like change the colors a little bit just to see how your graph is going to come out and looking. Now I use Import Wizard so that I can see how much I need to graph. Do I need to graph and clean up a whole lot, or is it very minimum? And I noticed that Stitchboard does not allow me to do that. Stitchboard pros. The pros of Stitchboard is it does written instructions. That's a pro. That's good. The pro is also that it exports your documents or graph in PDF. That's great because you want your patterns in PDF form. So it's easy, accessible for the PDF reader. That way you could save and highlight and change it, whatever. It has a good outline of yarn palettes. So all the colors that you need, it's on Stitchboard. You could do a left-handed version on Stitchboard. So if you really want to be able to print out your graph so that you could crochet it the left-handed way, this is what it does. It's online. No need to download anything. It's right there on the website. Easy peasy. And it's free. It's free. And again, free is for some people. But I think my mom passed down some expensive taste because I'm the chick that will pass McDonald's and go to Starbucks because Starbucks, it may be a little bit more money, but it's convenient, it's good. I know I'm gonna get quality, so I'm gonna stick with Starbucks. Or you might do a diva and just do your own thing and make it at home, and that cut the cost and you can have it the way you want. So yeah, that's what I'm in the process of doing. So the cons for Stitchboard is not able to preview in the Import Wizard like I just explained. You literally are following the commands and it tells you to upload your image. When you upload your image, it's going to also say how many colors you need, how many are you going to crochet it. Like it asks you all those commands and you don't know what the heck you're doing. So if you don't know anything about sizing, colors, graphing, patterns, it's going to be very time consuming and you're going to mess up because when you are finished and you say get your pattern and it goes to this page right here, that's where you're going to be like, okay, now what's next? Because a lot of us go straight to it, and we're like, we're just going to do the best we can. As you can see, there's no way to clean this up. I do see a lot of people who will just crochet like this. I've done it in the past. The thing about it is when you crochet with the lines like this and the little dots, it shows. And when it shows, it's not, in my opinion, pretty. Doesn't look great. Your lines won't be bold. And it's just something that I cannot do. Some people don't mind. So like I said, if you have something that's really simple, you want to put it through Stitchboard, hey, try it. It's very limited. It confines me. I need to spread my wings. If I can't spread my wings, it's not something I tend to want. I need to be able to add this and cut that and change this and change that. And this does not allow you to do it. As soon as you finish your commands, it goes straight into the graph. No changing whatsoever. I think at one point in time, there was no need to do any changing because people were trying to do the best thing they knew how to do. And that was, you see the picture, it looks good, bam, I'm going to crochet it. Not realizing your size may be off, your colors may be off. This is showing 10 colors, but you can see 4. That's something that I will say is not something that I want to do, because you can change it. So what you will have to do is, after you see this, you're going to be like, okay, I don't need that many colors. Let me go back. The thing about it is, and this is what I learned, you see 4 colors and you may add that into the command area where it says how many colors you want. When you put 4 colors, the 4 colors is only going to show up some of the way. So where you see like the little let me see, it's like dark green, there's some like hunter green in there, and then it's like 4 different types of gray. So when you see all of that, that's because it's showing you all of the shades and all of the shadows of that image. When you change it to 4, it takes away the detail. So that's the reason why I like the fact that I can look at the export wizard, which is the preview of how it's going to look before I'm able to graph it or even print it. I think that's it. There's certain tools that I like to play around with just to make my graphing go a little bit easier. That does not have it. It doesn't have the cut and paste ability. And there's something called underlay that I use sometimes, not all the times, and PC Stitch. And underlay is really convenient when I'm having some type of trouble with the image, or if I just want a guide. It's like tracing, like a color. You know how when you're drawing and you have the tracing paper and you're trying to trace a drawing? That's what underlay is, but in the graph kind of, it's the tool that you use to trace. I don't see that in none of the softwares. None of them. None of the programs had underlay. So I could do without underlay. But I can't do without the highlight button and to be able to clean up, cut and paste, add whatever I want to add. So for me, Stitch Fiddle gets an absolute maybe 2, maybe 3 from 1 to 10. I'm gonna say 1 to 5. From 1 to 5, I will give it a 1 because it limits you. You're not able to explore the way you want to explore and create what you want to create. As long as it's simple, to the point, maybe one name, you might get away with it. I honestly still won't do it. I still wouldn't do it. But yeah, Stitch board. So if you like stitch board, let me know in the comments why. Why do you like stitch board? Why do you think stitch board is good for you? What do you get out of stitch board that I may not get? Or maybe I didn't see. I'm open. I am definitely open. I love to know something new. It doesn't matter. It does not matter if it's not PC Stitch. I'm open for new stuff. All right, so the next one is Stitch Fiddle. This is going to be so much fun. Stitch Fiddle. Shall. Stitch Fiddle has been like the arch enemy of PC Stitch for some reason. I don't want to say that it's altogether bad because it's not. Stitch Fiddle is not altogether bad. It has a lot of great qualities in it. And you can do stuff for free. And but if you wanted to do a little bit more, there's like you gotta pay for it, have the premium. What I like about Stitch Fiddle is the fact that you don't have to buy the whole thing. So the whole thing for one whole year is $22. So $22 every single year, you get the whole entire premium for Stitch Fiddle. The thing about that is, you got to pay every single year $22, $22, $22. I don't know if that's something I would want to do, but $22 might not be nothing for someone who is making a good amount of money, that's generating a good amount of money from their orders. You do not have to download with Stitch Fiddle. So let me go to it now. You don't have to download. You don't need to do none of that. Why? Because you just go on stitchfiddle.com and you can complete the steps right then and there. And that to me is actually not bad because I had a computer that is like a little bit of space in it. And the fact that I didn't have to download Stitch Fiddle, that was the bomb. Because that's what the issue is with the other one, but I'll tell you about that. Okay, so let me show you what Stitch Fiddle do. I'm pretty sure a lot of you did Stitch Fiddle already. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of you did Stitch Fiddle. Okay, so here it is where it shows whether you want to crochet, cross stitch, and knitting and other. So I think this is where the confusion lies. They are totally different crafts. That's definite. Totally different crafts. The thing about it is you can use the same exact grid for every last one of those. So whatever my pattern is, you can use it. I've had someone use my patterns for C2C, Tunisian, knitting, cross stitch. Someone made like a really cute cross stitch. It was like a wall hanging, and it was really cute. You could use that for any graph. If you want to make it into like with cross stitch, you have the little half stitches and stuff like that. If you need to do that, you could do that. And that's the great thing about Stitch Fiddle. You are able to change into those different patterns. What else? Let me see. What else? Okay, so also once I hit crochet, it's going to give you the option for corner to corner, crochet with colors, Tunisian, freeform, which I've never done. I know what it is, but I've never done freeform, which I think I'm gonna try one day to go into it, and filet crochet. So for what I usually do crochet with colors, And you could do empty chart or from a picture. I'm going to go to a picture and click on that, upload the flower, boom. Now, I think that one of the perks for Stitch Fiddle is the fact that you can see the preview, whereas Stitchboard you can't. You can play around with this. So with all of them, like I said, I had made them 80 by 139. So I'm gonna do that here. So what it's showing is the aspect ratio. The aspect ratio for right now is showing 80. So it's showing 61 by 80. So it's 61 going across the width and 80 rows. I'm going to put exact size and make it 139. As you can see, that is actually cropping it a little bit. But that's okay because this is only for tutorial purposes. That size means nothing at all. It's not a twin. It's nothing. I'm literally doing this based off of Stitchboard. The aspect ratio of that picture that Stitchboard said was 80 by 139. So I'm using all of them so I can show you how every last one of these are coming out. All right, so this has 10 colors as well. I'm looking at Stitchboard and I'm looking at this and it's just about the same thing. It's showing almost the same thing. It has a whole lot of those unconnected lines. You're going to have to add the outline. I do see a couple of greens in there. It doesn't have as many, a lot of grays and stuff like Stitchboard did. With this, you can make it dark. You can make it bright. I like that. You could change the colors. You can make more. You can make less. It only needs 4 colors, to be honest with you. Let me see. If I put 3, this is what happens. All your detail starts to disappear. When your details disappear, then you're going to be like, how am I supposed to do this? So, with me, in all my graphs, I try to add a little bit more color. The more colors, the more detail it shows. It shows your shadows. It shows things that you probably don't even think about. So you ever saw a drawing, like the drawing of someone who is like a great artist, and they make it look lifelike? And I would literally sit there and watch a video on someone drawing from the beginning to the end. When you sit there and you look at it, you'll be like, oh, it's finished. But then they keep going. They keep adding more shadows and adding more this and adding more that. And you're like, but I thought it was finished. Or if I was to copy that, I wouldn't add all of those shadows. But the more and more detail that they put in, the more lifelike it looks. That's kind of sort of like graphing. Some people may not do anything that I do. Some people may not feel like it's necessary. But the difference between my graphs and someone else's is I try to make it more lifelike. I try to ad lib, which is basically adding things that you may not see in someone else's work. And I was told my stuff is like masterpiece. Sometimes they don't want a masterpiece. Sometimes they just want something simple. Then maybe I'm not the right one because I don't want to minimize, or I don't think it will look good if I minimize the details. Depending on, the image, who it is, and whatever, I might say, okay, I'll minimize it. But I believe that my shadows, my bold outlines, colors, it brings it out. And this, you can actually, you can do that with this. You can make it thicker. If you wanted to make it thicker, like the outline, you could do that with Stitch Fiddle. So I'm going to go back to 10. The more I add, it's only but so much you can add to it because it's only had like 4 colors. So if I wanted to add 50, it's only but so much that it's going to add. It's not going to add all of those. So we're going to go back down to 10. And that's it. That's it. I think I could actually go down a little bit more than 10. Yeah, I could go down a little bit more. Okay. So I went down to 7. Now it gives you the option to save your chart. I will save it and bam, this is how it looks. So once you get to the actual graph part, you see how they cut off too. It cut off. I don't like that. That part I don't like about it. But yeah, it actually cropped the image. I don't like that. So in order for me to make it look good, change it, make the lines bold, I will have to add the colors. So when I add pencil, I will go to black because that's the outline, and you just basically go through all of this. Now, as I'm doing this, I notice there are some dark blue areas that we don't need. So what I would do is I would merge. That's what I would do with PC Stitch. So that's a pro, right? I can merge. That's what I love to do and merge. So I just go right here and I see black and I see the dark blue. So all I'm going to do is erase the dark blue, and it's going to ask you, what do you want to change the dark blue to? And I'll change it to black. So you're replacing and deleting. Once you do that, boom, it shows up so that you ain't even have to worry about that blue. But you still have to, add all the other parts. And then I would keep on going, adding. So after all these years, I taught myself how to curve, how to make like what you call it, what you call these things? Curves, circles. So your circles don't look boxy. I tend to play around with it so it doesn't look real boxy. I noticed also that, let me go back a little bit. I noticed that when some people do circles, this is what they would do to make their circle. They would go like this so that the corners are touching each other. The thing about it is when the corners touch each other, you are giving your image an unconnected look. So, being that you have an unconnected look, unconnected lines, it's going to make your final project look a little off. It's going to look like you connect the dots. Your lines are not going to be bold. And that for me is a no-no. Some people don't mind. I mind. I won't be able to partake in the shenanigans of unconnected lines because I didn't show, I don't know if you saw it, but I showed a lot of my past work with those unconnected lines you could barely see. If you have to guess what it is, I don't think it's a good idea to even use it. When you crochet, your work is going from right to left, left to right to left, left to right. So it's going to start looking jagged. When it starts looking jagged, those lines that are already unconnected are going to start looking like they disappeared. So where you have a bold outline, it's going to start looking like it skipped. And that's something you don't want to do. There's so many of you that bought patterns that look like that. And then when you do it, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I'm going to have a lot of customers. And I realized some customers don't mind. Some customers don't know any better. Some people don't know because I was selling it back in the days. I was definitely selling merchandise with all those unconnected lines. Then I was wondering, why am I not selling? Why did I hit like a plateau where nothing was happening? I wasn't selling. I wasn't capturing the people that I needed to capture. I wanted my stuff to be high class, so I wanted to charge more. But it's only but so much you can ask yourself with your business when you're looking for me, this is how I felt. I'm I'm graphing mediocre. I'm crocheting mediocre. I can't expect to charge 350 $400 for this blanket when my stuff don't look all that great. Those unconnected lines, random dots everywhere. I did have a customer that did say, "Can you fix that? Can you not have those little dots around there like that?" I felt some type of way about it, but it opened my eyes to investigate a little bit more. Some people that's out there, even though they don't crochet, they like their stuff to look a little good. You can even go to Walmart and get a blanket at Walmart, and your blanket at Walmart not going to have those little tiny dots. So we don't want our handmade items to have those little tiny dots. We don't want that. So Stitch Fiddle pros. No need to download. The free version is good because I'm using the free version now. You can print it. You can do whatever. The thing about it is the free version allows you to do a lot except for the written instructions and certain exports. You can't use all exports. You can't do multiple exports. And you can't save multiple in charts either. It limits you to 15. So if I want to make a 16th chart, I will have to delete the other ones. And it might not be a problem for some people. Uh, for me, I like to save all of mine. So I would probably download it and put it on a drive or something. The thing about it is I might need to edit. I can't do that with this. Unless you buy the whole entire thing. If you buy the whole entire thing, then you're able to save it on the software. Um, you could do that monthly fee or the whole entire yearly fee, which is $22, or you can pay a one-time fee. I think for that one month, it was like $5 or something like that, which is not bad if you just wanted to use it every now and then. Not an all the time thing. That's not bad. Um, the good thing about it is it has good exports. You're able to preview it, like I showed you, where you could change the colors and everything, and you could look at it. So the cons, the things I don't like about it, you must pay for the written instructions. You have to pay for it. The the exporting, once you hit that 15th mark, you have to pay. You must manually enter colors in the description. So here is I don't understand why they did this, but here's an area where you have to add the colors. So you have to put white, you have to put black, you have to put blue, you have to put. I don't know if I like that idea. I'd rather it be there already. But if that's something that you want to deal with just so that you can move on with your graph, then fine. I don't want to deal with that. You cannot cut and paste. It doesn't have the underlay that I was speaking about. You can't add more pictures to it. You can't add text to it. So here's the flower, right? What if you wanted to put Lily under the flower? You can't. You have to do that separate. So now, your project may be elongated because now you have to do two separate graphs and put them together. It might be elongated. That means your sizing is not going to be proportioned, and you're going to be like, oh, why is this so long and skinny? Yeah, that's something you gotta like really, really, really pay attention to. The colors, the size, because size does matters with graphing. It matters. When you crochet that graph and you're wondering why it looked like this, because it matters with the size of your graph. Just because you put that size and you say, I want 120 by 120, because you don't want to make this an adult blanket and you're doing baby size, and then you're wondering why it fits on your man just on his lap and he can't snuggle in it. That matters. You have to understand sizing, and the yarn matters, your tension matters, the hook size, all of that matters, even the stitches. I said cut and paste only one graph at a time, and you can't highlight. I need highlight. I need a highlight. If I don't have highlight, I would go absolutely insane. I'm blind at times. I can't see at times. So highlight highlights all of the little random dots that I may not be able to see. All right. So the next one is Wind Stitch. So Wind Stitch is the program that I had the issue with. I was not able to download it. For some reason, my computers, both of them, because I'm using two different ones right now, did not like WinStitch for some reason. When I try to download it, my security system is saying it's it's basically saying don't run because it's not a trusted site. I know a lot of people downloaded it, so I don't know why my computer is bugging. But how about I'm listening to my computer? Because for me to download something like WinStitch when I'm only doing it for demonstration purposes, and something do happen to my computer, I would be very, 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 very upset. So I didn't take any chances, but I did do some research. I went on the WinStitch forum. I asked questions and I looked at some videos. Now, what I'm about to say is there was a lot of similarities with WinStitch and PC Stitch. A lot of similarities. If I didn't know anything about PC Stitch, I believe I would use WinStitch. You could use WinStitch, which is the pro. These are the pros of WinStitch. The pro of WinStitch is you could use it for PC or Mac. PC Stitch has the same thing. You could use it for PC or Mac. The thing about it is, it's two different names for it. So PC Stitch is PC Stitch, and the other one I think is Mac Stitch. I've never used Mac Stitch because I'm not an Apple person. So I've never used it. So when people ask, I don't know how to explain because I've never used it. I was going to try for tutorial purposes, but I never did. So WinStitch, I have no idea why. I just cannot download it. And I tried on both computers. And I'm not gonna keep doing it. I'm just not. I'm not gonna keep doing it. But the pros are you can use it for PC Stitch and Mac. So the shadow shows when you are adding the picture in, it will pick up on any shadows that may be in the image. So say if the image was scanned and you could see like the little like if it's a wrinkle or something, it shows. It could be like with calligraphy when you have the little pointy thing and it's beautiful and you use another color to outline, that will show up. The thing about it is when it shows up, it will start merging together with the other colors and then it becomes like a pain. But that's not nothing major at all. That's not bad at all. Um it's primarily used for cross stitch. So because it's primarily used for cross stitch, there's a lot of functions that I will have to manipulate, like I do with PC Stitch. You will have to manipulate it to make it fit to what you need. Whereas those unconnected lines that you see, those would drive me absolutely crazy. The one biggest, hugest pet peeve I have for graphing is unconnected lines, because I had almost the worst experience ever with the unconnected lines. I had a crochet monitor telling me don't ever have those lines. I had random people saying that those unconnected lines is something bad. It doesn't make your picture look good. I created items with the unconnected lines. I never got any more sales from it. So I chose to just stay away from unconnected lines, and it became my hugest, biggest pet peeve. It's a pet peeve that I choose to take very personally because it was a real rough time in my life. I know people like it is not that serious. I have no problems with my unconnected lines. My graph look perfect. My crochet item look good. I am so happy for you. It does not work for me. The other pro is um oh wait, that's not a pro. The con. The con for it is, the bad thing is it takes some time to learn. It's very tedious. It's very tedious. Like I said, it's almost like PC Stitch. I want to know if it's made by the same company. Maybe not, but it's just about similar. Difficult to learn because it's primarily for cross stitch. So a lot of the tools it's showing you for cross stitch. It's not showing you for crochet. So that's something that you're going to have to take into consideration with. You could do it. It's definitely possible to upload your image and make things happen. Just you just gotta do a lot of cleaning and making sure that it looks good. Um the bad part is I could not download. I could not download. I have no idea why two computers and it would not let me download. I tried on different multiple occasions and it just won't let me download. I really don't understand what the big deal is. It's two different computers, one with a lot of space and one with not a lot of space, but I just don't understand. It's $48. So they do give you like the demo version, but the demo version is a demo version. You can only do for so much on it, and you got to pay the $48. $48 is, I think, is lifetime. You don't have to worry about paying every year or something. It's lifetime. So I think that that part is a little bit better than Stitch Fiddle. Instead of paying every single year, you pay one fee. WinStitch creates C2C and written instructions for right and left-handed people. So you are able to do C2C on it and regular graph symbols and color blocks, written instructions for the right-handed and the left-handed. I think I mixed up my pros and my cons, but that's a pro. Import any photo, that's a pro. Multiple export capabilities and PDFs, that's a pro, because a lot of the other softwares they do not allow multiple exports, meaning It probably uploads as like a regular JPEG, a picture or something. Whereas if you have it on PDF, you're able to upload it in a reader. What is it? The PDF reader. That way you can highlight it and you can keep track of each rows that you're using. So that's a good thing. That's a plus. It has a lot of colors, a lot of good colors. Choice of colors is huge. You can copy and you can flip. What else you could do? It doesn't have underlay. And I've tried to see if you can do like multiple images, and I couldn't find that you could do multiple images into one. I couldn't find that. But I do know that you can do text. So like I said, it's almost like PC Stitch. Just almost like it. The only thing is PC Stitch allowed me to download it with no problems. um okay, so the next one is PC Stitch. What is my pros and my cons of PC Stitch? And then after I finish all of these, oh wait, I didn't say PC Stitch from 1 to 5. I would say PC Stitch, I would give PC Stitch a 3. I would give it a 3. I wouldn't give it anything less because it does what it's supposed to do. You put a picture in there, it generates a picture. You're able to take out any random things that are out of place. You can add to the border. You can add colors. You can delete colors. You can merge colors. The only thing you can do is add your text, add multiple, cut and paste. You can't do. You can do written instructions. So I would say 3. I would say out of 5, 3. All right, and for WinStitch, because I couldn't download it, kind of sort of mimics PC Stitch. I would say 3 for that as well. I would give it lower because I couldn't download it and I had to go on other people to ask them how did they do it and what do it do. But to be fair, I would give it a 3. It would have had more if I could download it. PC Stitch. This is my favorite. This is my favorite. My favorite. And let me show you my favorite. PC Stitch I've been using PC Stitch since 2012, 2013. So as you can tell, it's been like 9 years. So I know a little bit about it. I know a little bit about PC Stitch. I bet you I know way more about PC Stitch than the M&R Technologies who developed this. I learned a lot about PC Stitch. I was able to take the tools that they use for cross stitching and make it into crochet, C2C, knit, Tunisian. I do them all. And I think that being that I am able to do so many things with PC Stitch, it makes it my go-to software, and I'm able to teach it. So I do the tutorials. I have the Diva Squad, where the area where you can join so I can teach, because we going on some intense stuff this week, and we're going to do some really, really good graphing this week. But it's going to be for PC Stitch. So to purchase PC Stitch, I'm going to say this is a con. It's $49.95. The pro about the price is you can get a coupon if you get the book. So I have the book, the PC Stitch tutorial ebook. I'm in the process of upgrading it. So once I upgrade it, I'm going to put it on Amazon so that others can purchase it on Amazon. But once I upgrade it, it's going to have hyperlinks. and you're able to go on my there's YouTube links for videos that explain each chapter. It explains how to add text, how to upload, how to change it to make it personal. So what I like about PC Stitch also is the fact that I'm able to make it my own. So if you ever purchase a graph from me, you can see that my name is at the bottom. You can see that it's published and I put the date. You can see my logo. So I'm able to make it personalized. So when I give you my graphs, it has all of my copyright information on there. What else about PC Stitch? The pro is it creates and exports really easy. You can get the software, the disc. You could download and you could get the disc, which is a great thing because some people might just want the disc. Me, I just download right then and there. I download PC Stitch at least 10 to 13 times within the last 9 years. Why? Because either I had different computers or I would, at one point in time, I was purchasing the actual software for other people who couldn't afford it and who wanted to learn just to make odds, and, to make some extra money because they were having some problems. I also found that I wouldn't really do that too much anymore because, some people use you, and I found that out. So I would purchase that for them. So I purchased at least 10 to 15 of them. And I don't regret it. I give a lot of my money to MNR Technologies. But MNR and Technologies are like this right now. We about to make it happen. You're able to customize your grid. So if you look at the picture, the image, you see the bold lines. So every 10 stitches, there's a bold line. Every 10 rows, there's a bold line. That makes it easier to count. So you're able to customize that. You can make it any color you want as well. You're able to customize that as well. I like that. That's a pro in my book. You can open multiple graphs. Let me show you, right? When I am graphing, I come up with so many different ideas that I want to make it with one huge big graph, right? So I would say, I'm just picking anything. I would pick, say if I got that and I wanted to add something to it, I would do that by taking this and selecting it. And let's see if I wanted to select this. So that I don't have to write it out. It's already written out for me. So I will select it. And I will copy. I will go to my original and paste. And so when you do that, you're able to create way more things. You're able to increase the size while you're still graphing. You're able, if you need more space or if you want to take away, you can do that. I love this. I love the fact that you can do this. So let me go back. So say if I wanted to add the Steelers on here and add it to the side. Wait, let me 150 by 150. So if I wanted to add it to the side, I can do that by just going to paste and make it clockwise and bam, add it to the side. Can you do this on wind stitch? Not all the way necessary. You can cut and paste. So say if I wanted to make like multiple flowers, like 3 or 4 flowers, I can do that. But to take from another graph and put it on this, no. So that to me is a downfall for wind stitch and a plus for PC stitch. The the other pro for PC stitch is I give lessons. It's very tedious. That's a bad thing. It's very, very, very tedious. The thing about it is it's okay because that's what I'm here for. If you see the button down the below, it says join. You could join and it gives you 3 different levels, 3 different membership levels. The membership level that you want to learn how to graph is the last one, which is graph like a diva. That's the membership that you want to do. Once you do that, then you're going to be a part of the Diva Squad. You get free graphs, you get perks, extra percentage off of graphs. You get 1 free graph per month, extra percentage off on my Etsy shop. So it's a lot of perks that you get. I am definitely adding more content to it because I feel like it's so much that you can learn. I just didn't want to overwhelm anyone, but it's so much that you can learn when it comes to this graphing because I'm trying to take this graphing thing to another level. It's not going to be all about blankets. It's going to be about making circle graphicans or heart graphicans or all different types of freeform graphicans. Clothing. I have this pattern that I am doing. I want to be able to show you guys how I came up with it, but I am going to give it to my Diva Squads. My Diva Squads are going to get it before everyone else get it. With PC Stitch, right? Let me tell you something. You can add, in fact, I can show you. You can add a color palette of yarn. So, say for instance, you want to use only red heart yarn. There's a color palette that you can put in, and it will give you all red heart. The thing about it is, I don't know if it's floating around anymore, but you have to create it. So if you're good at creating libraries and fonts and stuff, you can do that. You can add it. I had the library for Quran, not Simply Soft. I had the Quran 1-pounder. I have the one for I Love This Yarn and Red Heart. But I did want some other ones, but I didn't have that. I'm still in the process of trying to design it myself because the people that used to design it, I'm not in their community anymore. I'm not in their like circle, so I can't get it from them. But it's doable. You can't do that with the other ones. How about that? It's so dope, right? I'm excited about that part because I'm always asked, what yarn do I need to use? It would be so much easier for me to just say you could use this because it's on your graph, and not only is it on your graph, it tells you the specific yarn that you need, the color, and everything. It gives you the lot number. I think that is the best thing in the world, and no other software does that. If that's not a problem for you guys and you don't mind the whole yarn thing, then it's okay. because like I said, Stitch Fiddle and Stitchboard, it's good if you want to do something simple. Okay, so it's downloadable for PCs. There is a Mac version, but I don't know how to use the Mac version. I am not a Mac version type of gal. Not at all. I'm trying to show you guys the color palette. This is so dope. It even allows you, I'm gonna just show you. I'm not even gonna tell you. I'm gonna just show you. It allows you to what you call it? Change it. So say if you don't want to use Red Heart, you wanted to use Quran, all you have to do is go in here and change it. I think that is so dope. Or if you can't find the color that you need for Red Heart, but you know the color that you want, and I love this yarn, you could do that. It's so dope, man. It's so I love PC Stitch. No, you can't do that with the other ones. I looked, I asked, you can't. They didn't even know what I was talking about. Um, how am I getting this on here? Oh, uh, I'm so excited about the colors. I didn't even share it. Okay. If you guys have any questions, ask your questions. Ask it. It's okay. It's okay. Ask your questions. All right. So this is it, right? So as you can see, this corner right here is a corner right here. It says available colors. It says RHC. Some of my graphs already have it. Some of them don't, because this computer allows it. For some apparent reason, this computer that I'm on, this is the one I use the most, do not have it. I have the file. It just does not download on the file. I don't know why. But this is so dope. Like all of the colors that you see. So I have Quran here. It has Quran on here. So the colors that you see is thread. DMC is thread. All of those, because this is primarily for cross stitch. So all of those are thread. To me, it really does not matter whether I use Red Heart, Quran, I love this yarn, color palette. It doesn't matter to me because I'm going to use whatever I want to use just by looking at the colors. I'm not going to care about what type of yarn it is. I'm always using Big Twist now anyway, so it really does not matter. As long as it's a red color, orange color, blue color, I'm going to use Big Twist no matter what. But I think it's dope for those people who are new and don't really understand that they can use whatever they want. It's easier. So I don't have to get the multiple questions of, what yarn I need to use or what's this, what's that, what's DMC. It doesn't matter. You don't even have to worry about the DMC. It's a coloring book to me, and you just pick whatever colors you want. You don't even have to use the same colors that I use. You use whatever you want. That's what else I like about it. What else? What else? What else? So, what I wanted to show you is the fact that you can convert it. You can change. So, what if I wanted to change Red Heart to Quran? What you're doing is convert. So, I will click convert, and you're going to change from DMC to Red Heart. So, I'm going to go down and click Red Heart, and okay. So it tells you that the following entries could not be converted because some of the colors that you have in DMC does not convert into Red Heart. But let me see. But that's basically how you do it. So if you want it to convert and it allows you to convert, if the colors do match, then you could do that. I actually would just do it by hand, to be honest, but manually. So all I do is go to the black and double click the black. When I double click the black, it says RHC, and it's all the way down here at the bottom. That's where I'm at, down here at the bottom. So I would click RHC and merge it with that. And all it's going to do is change it from DMC to Red Heart. That's all. I have purple here. So all I have to do is go to one of the purple. Any purple that Red Heart has. Grape, I don't really like that color. Lavender, I'll change it to lavender. And merge the colors. So that's basically what you can do if you really needed to add that specific yarn. If you're selling graphs or if you're using it for yourself, that's something that is good to know. PC Stitch, like I said, is very tedious. You do need help because to get the right amount of colors, to be able to graph and make it look like the actual image. Everybody wants to do photos. They want to be able to take a photo of a loved one and make it into a graph. It's some people don't mind the little dots everywhere. Some people don't mind all the shading, but others do. And when they mind, they will basically say, I'm frustrated, I can't do it, can you do it? I do charge a good amount of money because it's a lot to do. Now, to do photos with all of these, you can. You can do photos with every last one of these. The thing about it is, I want to not just have the photo. I want to be able to put my loved one's favorite color. My loved one loves flowers. I want to put the flowers. My loved one may say a certain verse all the time. I may want to put that. My loved one, I want to be able to say in love and memory with that person's name. I could do that with this. I could do that with PC Stitch. That's the best thing about PC Stitch that I love because it's so much that you could do with it. So the bad thing about it is it does not do written instructions at all. And the reason why someone said, well, why don't you graph here and do written instructions with someone else? It doesn't work like that. You have to do everything on this and everything on that. You can't mix the two. The reason why I will not use Stitch Fiddle and written instructions with Stitch Fiddle is because the unconnected lines and everything that I cannot do with PC Stitch, I can't do it on it. I can't add my text. I can't add none of that. So if I'm going to get written instructions for something, I want written instructions for a full, complete graph and not something that's half done. So that's something that we had to take a hit with. We had to take a hit with that. But I have someone who does that, and she does a great job doing it, and we're going to leave it like that. And that's just about it. The only bad other thing, just like WinStitch, it does pick up on all types of like shadows and stuff. If it's a watermark, I would not use it. If it's a watermark, because that's basically using somebody's work. So I wouldn't use it. Some people do, but that shows up to the watermark. Any shadow, anything, it shows up. So say if you wanted a picture of an airbrush, and you know how the airbrush has a lot of the outlines and stuff like that, the airbrush is going to show up all those little colors. And that can probably drive you crazy, but it's definitely doable. It's a lot of cleaning. Some graphs may take me 10 minutes. Some graphs may take me 10 days. And this is the reason why sometimes it takes me a long time, depending on the work that I'm doing, depending on if it's a photo or not. It takes a long time. I can show you one thing real quick, and because this is like one of the most asked things is with a photo. I'm going to show you a photo and how you can how it comes out when you are doing that photo. It's not a It's not all what everybody seems to think it is. So, what I tend to do is I will edit that photo if it needs to have restoration, because sometimes it's old photos and you have like rips and stuff. I will restore it. I would do whatever I need to do to make it as simple as possible for me to grab. A lot of another thing that I am beginning to believe a lot of people have a problem with is the size. No one wants to make a 300 by 300 or 400 by 400 blanket. No one. And if you do, God bless you. I A 300 by 300 or 400 by 400 blanket may be a lot. Some people don't want to even do a 150 by 150. So how can you get someone to do a 300 by 300? A lot of graphers do that. Why? Because the bigger you make it, the easier it is to clean. That's all of them. Every last one of them. If you make it 300 by 300, your image is going to look good. You got minimal cleaning and you can sell it. A lot of graphers do that. Sell it. So when you purchase your graph and you're like, why is this so huge? That's the reason. You're basically purchasing someone just doing it like this. Not doing a lot of cleaning at all. Just the switch and bait and make you buy it. Be careful. Always ask for the size. If it's a size that you can do and you're good, you're fine. Get it. If you can't find one that's that right size, that might be a problem because it's definitely something that I have seen and it's not cool. I don't like that. So good graphers who know how to do good graphing are able to take that picture and make it a decent size, maybe like twin size, maybe full size, maybe even queen size, without making it way larger than the California King. So that's something you just gotta be careful of when you're purchasing. All right, so I'm gonna show you a image. I'm not gonna tell my son he's gonna be mad at me if he see this. Yeah, he gonna be so upset if he see this. But it doesn't let me show. It doesn't allow me to show you the import wizard, so I had to play around with it first. But it's coming up now. When you take an image, it can be overwhelming. That image can take a long time to complete. So right there, it looks good, right? Not really. But when you are actually graphing, you're going to see all those little tiny, 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 tiny dots. And then it's going to drive you crazy. So what do people tend to do? They leave it. It looks good from far away. So why not just leave it and have all those little random dots everywhere? I won't do it because I have seen people crochet things that you have to you see like a silhouette, but you don't see the detail, the beauty of your loved one, the beauty of someone who you really care for. You want to capture all the beauty, capture if there's a mole on their face or if they have green eyes, gray eyes, blue eyes. Like you want to capture all of that, and you can't if you just don't work on it and clean it. Like I said, I will manipulate it first. Um, like what you call it? Editing. I don't add any words or anything on it as I'm editing. I do it while I'm on here. So if I show you a sample of how I believe you would want it. So I have some photos that I'm currently doing now for people of their loved ones. They all are loved ones that passed. Every last one of them. Every last one of them are loved ones that passed. So what I would do is I would ask them what do you want on it? What did your loved one like? What favorite colors? Like, I would ask all those questions. I would ask for multiple pictures, and I would take everything that that person told me, and I would make it into a beautiful sample. I might do two, I might do three. I would show them the samples, and if they love it, they pick whatever they want, and that's what I will graph. But I will not graph that one that they see. I will graph a plain one, but then I will add everything to it. Why? Because the photo is already a lot. When you add all of that other stuff, it can be very overwhelming. So I tend to do everything piece by piece and put them together. You cannot do that with any other program but PC Stitch. So this is why I tend to hold on to PC Stitch way more than touching anything else, because I'm able to be the diva with PC Stitch. I'm able to do whatever I want with it. If you just want simple, you don't want to go through all of the drama. Um, that's understandable, and one of the other ones may work for you. So from 1 to 5, PC Stitch, I will give it a 4. I will give it a 4 because I am not able to do written instructions. Written instructions has been one of the most asked piece that everybody is asking for. So that's one thing I can't do on this, but thank God I have someone that can do it, and she does it like that. So we offer it. It's just a little bit more because she's literally doing it on the side. But I can't do it with PC Stitch, so I give it a 4. So out of all of them, like I said, I will give Stitchboard 3. I will give Stitchboard 3. I think I gave Stitch Fiddle 4, and I gave PC Stitch 4. Or Stitch Fiddle, I think I gave 3. I didn't even write that down. And Wing Stitch is just about up there with PC Stitch. It just does not do all of the extra stuff that I do. So, like I said, if you're doing something simple, Stitch Fiddle's for you. Something simple, something that you're not going to use every single time. You just want to grasp something here and there. I'm not going to lie, Stitch Fiddle may be the best thing that you could use. I went in, even though I feel like it's a cuss word, even though I feel like Stitch Fiddle is like, I cannot lie and say that it's not good for someone who just needs to do something simple. If you want a masterpiece, if you want to go through all the trouble and add this and add that and change the image, I would say PC Stitch. And that's basically what I'm doing. I'm teaching PC Stitch. I'm teaching how to use it. I'm teaching how to make things. So there was a question in GraphGANs University that asked, how can I choose the image and graph it? How can I choose the image and graph it? And that's something I can't teach. I can't teach anyone how to use an image, how to find the image, how to create the image. How am I able to graph? And as I'm graphing, I come up with different ideas. I can't teach that. That's something that just comes in my head as I'm going. And the only thing I can say is be creative. We are all fiber artists. We are all creative. We are all talented. Expand a little bit more and think out of the box. Think about all those signs you see outside, all the logos you see, all of the shirts that may have designs that you like, all of the cars that you may have bought, and the reason why you bought it. Think of all of those. So that's what comes to my mind when I see an image that someone says, can you do? Divify it. I will look at the image and automatically something may come up to my head, or something may not come to my head. I will look at the details of what they want on it, and I will tend to process how I'm going to do it. Sometimes I will graph it, and then as I'm going, I will tend to figure out how I'm going to make it. Size matters when you do that, though. Size matters a lot, because how am I going to take Scooby Doo's head and put it in the middle, but I want all of this stuff around it, but you don't want it to be 300 by 300. So I kind of use my noggin just to pinpoint what I want to do with Snoopy's head, what I want to do with whatever. Like if it's a name, I will make the name in like a doggy bone. Yeah, I'll put the name in like a doggy bone with Snoopy's head, maybe coming from the collar. Like this is something I just thought up out of my head based off of maybe a character that I saw previously. And there's no picture out there like that that I can see or remember, but I could just come up with different types of things. And when we do that, our work is different from others. Our work is going to be unique. It's going to be personable for that person. I always say, tell me what you want. If it's a baby shower, what do the mom like? What do the dad like? What are their occupations? What is the baby shower theme? What is the baby shower colors? So that's how I come up with a lot of different ideas as well. The last baby shower gift that I made was, well, it's the order. The last one I made was the Jordan. It was the Jordan logo. I only did that because that was the theme of the baby shower. The theme of the baby shower was the Jordan logo. So I would put the Jordan logo, and then going across, instead of it saying Air Jordan, I put the baby's name. So that was one of the last baby things that I did. There was another one. I still don't know what that character is. I made a character. The only reason why I was able to execute it and make it flawless is because I searched the character. I looked it up. I saw some pictures. And I decided to add the name to the little character. But when I added the name, I wanted it to stand out. I wanted her name to stand out. So I added the name Charlotte, and I bent it a little bit, and I put it together with the image of the character. Still don't know what it is. And I showed her. She loved it. But for me to graph it, I graphed them separately. So I would graph Charlotte first. You cannot do that. You cannot bend letters and names with PC Stitch. You can't bend it. But what I would do is I would create it and then graph it. So that's what I did. And then I graphed the character. And then all I did was cut and paste the name to it. When I cut and paste the name to it, the name basically went on top of the character. So it looks like the character was kind of sleeping on the name. Again, this stuff just comes from my head. Just be very creative. The only thing I know that you could do that with is PC Stitch. You could do a little bit of it with WinStitch, but you might want to have the images together already, because you can't take it from another graph and cut and paste. So I would want to do that already. But that's it. I give PC Stitch a 4 because it doesn't do written instructions. It's very tedious, so I had to learn. And I'm gonna be honest, it took me up until maybe 3 to 4 years ago for me to get it together with PC Stitch. But that's because I had no one teaching me how to use it. I had no one. But if you want to learn and you want me to teach you, you have me to help you. And I can tell you how many people that I've taught throughout the years that have their own Etsy shop now. I was looking on it and I saw that majority of the people that I taught are on Etsy shop. That's so awesome. That's so cool. I love that. I love that. I love that. I do not ridicule them. I do not get mad at them, because why would I teach them? if anything, I would uplift them. I would tell them, this looks good, or maybe you should change this and maybe you should do that. I love it. I love seeing everybody's art. So it's not a problem to me at all. And that's it. Anybody has any questions? So you see by where it tells you to subscribe. Oh, Shay is helping someone. So, if you don't have any questions about graphing, then we will depart. But again, if you want something simple, I guess Stitchboard and Stitch Fiddle is good. Well, I kind of wouldn't use Stitchboard at all. At all. I wouldn't use Stitchboard at all. I think I'm going to just give them a 2. I wouldn't even give them a 3. I would not use Stitchboard at all. Stitchboard does not allow you to look at what you're doing. It doesn't allow you to change it. It just converts and make the graph. If you want just the name, maybe it'll work with that. But I would not trust Stitchboard with anything else. Stitch Fiddle, yeah. WinStitch, yeah. Stitch, yeah. But not. Oh, you like it? He likes it. I thought he wouldn't like it. You like? Aw. How I do that? So if no one has any other questions, we're going to depart. Tomorrow I am going to upload all of the stuff that we're going to do for the Tunisian class. You guys want to learn how to make grafting with Tunisian crochet, which is to me like it's way better than single crochet and half double crochet. The only thing is I can't make my blankets with it because it'll hurt my thumb. So that's what I'm going to start tomorrow, and then I'm also going to do some intense stuff with my Diva Squad, the graph like a Diva Squad. We're going to do some intense work on some what you call it, making fonts, because you can make a font. How about that? Yes, you can make a font. How about like Cookie Monster, the name with cookies in it and stuff like that? You could do all of that with PC Stitch. I don't know if you could do that with anyone else. I don't know. I don't think so. So, all right, you guys have a good night, and I will see you tomorrow. If you want to participate in the Tunisian thing, if you are in the groups Graph Games and the Restless or Graph Game University over on Facebook, just put in the there's a post that says if you want to do Tunisian crochet, just put your name, just say me or hello, whatever, so that I can tag you or add you to whatever. The only thing is it'll be a free class, it'll be a free tutorial. You just have to get your graph bundle. That's it. That's all. Get your graph bundle, and we gonna start learning. And I'm going to do it too. Wait, I got a question. Hello, my question is, I want to start selling patterns. I want to know how to go about that. Blazing Mommy, beautiful. So like I mentioned, if you want to learn how to graph, there's a button there down there below. Just click join right there next to subscribe. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe. There's a button that says join. You could join there, and I'm going to do teaching. I already have some videos already done. I have an ebook. The ebook is if you want the ebook, all you have to do is send $40 to one of my payment methods. It's Creative Stitching Diva, all of them. All of them is Creative Stitching Diva, whether it's Zelle, Creative Stitching Diva at gmail.com, Venmo, hashtag Creative Stitching Diva, Cash App, $ Creative Stitching Diva, all of them, Creative Stitching Diva, $40, and put your email address in the notes. When you put your email, I automatically send it to you. Also, some people need a little bit more teaching, a little bit more help, a little bit more direction. So that's why I have the join button. So the memberships, so you'll be able to learn a little bit more than what the ebook is. I think a lot of people are very visual. So being that if you're visual, the membership may be better if you're visual. And that's it. If I don't have any more questions, I'm gonna depart because I have some crocheting to finish. I think that's it. Did I answer your question, Blaze and Mommy? You can definitely start selling your graphs like once you get it down pat. But my advice is to learn the hell out of everything. Learn. If you did graphicans, great. If you didn't crochet, you're behind off. Even if it's just little swatches, learn because you don't want to sell to anyone and not know because they are going to ask. You want to know everything about size. You want to know everything about colors. You want to know everything about the yarn types. You want to know everything about that because they're going to ask. And just keep playing with it. When I do my tutorials for the Diva Squad, I'm going to do it where they're able to do it with me. I just got to get on the right schedule with them because I don't think everybody has the right schedule, the right time. So I want to be able to see your screen and you see my screen and we could figure this out. I want to be able to do that because sometimes people are doing it and they're doing exactly what I'm saying or exactly what's in the book, but it's just not generating the way you need it. You also can't see my keys. So being that you can't see what I'm pressing, it may not, register. So that's why I figured the membership would be excellent for that. The membership is something that I'm doing on a weekly basis. And I was doing it once a week. I'm trying to do it 2 to 3 times a week now because I want to give more and more and more information. I want that information to generate so that you can generate some funds. It's easy, but you got to be dedicated because I've been around for the past almost a decade. So many people say they want to grab and then it becomes tedious, overwhelming, and they don't want to do it no more and they let it go. I've been doing it for almost 10 years and it's the most money that I make out of everything that I do. Out of everything that I do, it's the most that I generate out of is my graphs. And the crazy thing is my graphs are the least amount of money that I charge out of everything. Some of my graphs are $5, some are $8, but I make more with that than I do with my custom made items, my t-shirts. Like it's crazy, but it's definitely doable. And I think that the reason why I'm able to keep going is because exactly that. I didn't stop. I keep going. I have not stopped. I may have stopped 1 or 2 years when I was diagnosed with RA and I was sick a lot, but I've always been able to pick it back up and keep going and not stopping. I also keep up with the times. So if I know football season is coming up, I'm already on it. Football season, here it is. August, September, I'm already on it. Christmas, I'm already on it in October. Valentine's Day, I'm already over it. Like these are things that I've learned throughout the years to be on top of. Not necessarily to be quicker than any other graphers. It's so that those who want to graph something get an idea of what they want and more time to complete it. I try to do a month or two prior. So now, right now I'm just doing the challenges. It's not too many things that any holidays that's coming up right now. So I would do more graduation stuff, more baby stuff, because for some reason these babies are just coming. So I would do way more baby stuff and be versatile because now things started shifting. Before it was safari this, safari that, and maybe, just a pretty name. But now we getting into some like the sneakers. Like we're getting into some pretty complicating things. Some babies are getting blankets with football stuff. So, and then I'm doing a polo bear for a baby. So a lot of stuff is getting a little bit technical, but it's worth it. It's so worth it when you see those customers' faces and they are willing to pay $200, $300, $400. They're willing to pay it. They'd rather come to you than someone they knew for years who crochet. That's what you want to get to. You want to get to where they come to you, and because that right there for me is mind blowing. There's so many people that say, "Oh, my cousin crochets," or "My neighbor crochets," or "I've known my coworker for such and such years, but I come to you." It's because the things that you may not realize makes a difference. It makes a difference. Those unconnected lines makes a difference. This particular female that I'm talking about, she saw the difference. We have a mutual friend. The mutual friend crochets. The mutual friend tried to do graph gans, but she did the graph gan and those lot of dots. I guess she used stitch fiddle, maybe. I don't know, stitch fiddle or stitch board. She said what she used, but she was trying to be like on a slide. She didn't want me to know, but I was trying to help her. She used stitch fiddle or stitch board, and it didn't come out the way she wanted to, but she used it anyway. And the girl was like, "I don't want this, Diva. You got to fix this." And instead of me taking that money, I'm the type of chick that's gonna be like, "Can I just help her? Can I help her?" But some people don't want you to do that. Some people don't want you to help them. So I wound up doing it, and ever since I did it for her, she has been a lifelong customer, like forever. Always, always, always ordering something from me, even though she sees this person all the time. And I'm beginning to think this person is like, why are y'all going to her? And y'all knew me before. Because there's a lot of them that would say, because this is in the Eastern Star order. They would be like, Sister Givens, can you make this? Sister Givens, can you do this? Sister Givens, can you do that? And in my mind, I'm like, there's 4 other crocheters in the whole entire district. It's probably more than that. But they live hours away from me and they rather come to me. And I'm very blessed, very, very, very blessed. But sometimes I just want to teach somebody what I do. I want to teach them. They don't think about it. The same lady that crochets that felt some type of way asked me, can you graft this for a sweater? Honey, this is the problem. I cannot. You cannot put this image in a sweater. And then I found out that the image that she was doing was for somebody that I know. She tried to go under and go to the other person, and because I gave her a price that she just didn't want to pay. But how about this? She came back to me and I said I couldn't. I'm busy. I can't do that. I can't play those little games. If you're not going to pay my price, but you're going to go to somebody and that person going to come to me to grab for them, that just made my day. It just made my day. I don't know, but yeah, it circles around because I do something different. You may be around so many other crocheters, but graph ganning is different. Not everybody is doing it, and not everybody is doing it to make it look good. You're gonna graph something, and make it into a shirt or something. How about we make it so that you can see what it is and not have to guess it? Because that's something that I've noticed that happens as well. I don't want to have to put the picture next to it just so you can understand what exactly it is. We should not have to do that. So that's why I'm doing the class. And if you want to learn, I'm here. Just click the join button and join. And on the side, Shay gave all the information for the ebook and my payment things. Matter of fact, I want to pin it. I'm about to pin it now. And then I am out. I am bouncing. I am so hungry and tired. I don't even know why I'm so hungry and tired. I could have sworn I ate right before I came on here. All right, so I pinned it. There we go. All right, thanks. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow when I do Tunisian tutorial. Have a good night. Bye.